welcome back to my channel. For those that are new here, I do subscription unboxings, beauty reviews, makeup, all that good stuff, lifestyle. So today I am going to be going over this palette, which I got in my Fabfitfun edit sale for fall. It was part of a bundle, but I think the thing was selling for like $7. This is normally like a $29 palette from Beautycrop. It's called the Expresso Yourself. I did briefly go over this palette in that and did some swatches, but I've been using this pretty solidly for a couple weeks, and I thought it'd be a really good palette to go over because there's just not that many reviews on it, and if this pops up on another sale, I think people would be interested to see what they thought. Also, I got some more Amazon stuff to try out. This was a set of brushes because I've been curious about how brushes are on Amazon because they have a lot of good deals. And this one is by Miracos Makeup. I got this set for some discounted price in order to give my review. I forget how much these are. Not very much. They're like $7 or $8 normally, and I got them for like half off. So I'm just going to go over the brushes real quick, and then we'll go over this palette. I'll put the swatches up again so you guys can see it, and then I'm going to do a look and then tell you my thoughts on it. So just a little bit about these brush sets. So this is apparently the Stiletto Essential Eye Brush Kit in limited edition. Just for the one you love is what this says on there. I don't know much about this, but these are what they look like. They are in this kind of rosy gold look. So you've got several brushes here, and I don't think, yeah, so there's a concealer brush, an eyeshadow brush, a blend brush, and a dual-ended eyeliner brow brush. So I think this is the concealer brush. I had a hard time. I played with these a little bit trying to figure out what these were, and I couldn't quite decide if this was the concealer or this was the concealer, but I'm pretty sure this is the concealer. If you can see, they have like this little boxy part on the bottom, which is kind of awkward, but not bad. Like, it's not heavy, but they look nice. So this is supposed to be the shadow brush, which is very fluffy and soft. It is a little bit of an awkward shape for what I use. And then this is the blending brush, I believe. Yeah, this is the blending brush. This one's not bad, so I'll use this one. And then this is the spoolie and supposed to be the eyebrow brush. I will tell you, I don't usually use these for eyebrow brushes. So I tend to use these as more of a liner. So I'm going to pause. I'm going to go back to this, put some swatches up, and then we'll get started. All right, so back with the swatches. So this is what the palette looks like. There are, let me see if they say how many shades here, because I don't feel like counting them. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there are 21 shades here. And you can see there's kind of a nice variety. The picture that they put up does not do this justice. There is a neutrals, browns, blacks, and then they have some cool tone and warm tones. So they have these kind of more orangey warm tones with kind of like the yellowy shades here. There's a really pretty gold here, and then they have kind of like a silvery blue, and then within the darker ones they do have them in the different tones, more warm and cool. So I have played with this and done both a warm and a cool look. To give you guys the swatches here, so this is starting from the top colors going down through the 2 top rows. As you can see, some swatch better than others. The mattes don't swatch the greatest. The shimmer shades, most of them swatch really well. I will tell you that this chai one is a little bit hard to swatch, as is the French roast one right here. They just don't swatch or do that well. This is the last row. I found that all of these shades tended to be very easy to work with. The orange shades are very, very nice. So I figure, since it is getting to be the month of Thanksgiving and we're full on in fall and it has finally gotten cool here, we're getting into the 50s, 60s, and 70s, that I'm going to do a fall-inspired look. Halloween just happened, so I'm going to do kind of an orangey look for you guys. So I'm going to pause, get these swatches off me, get set up, and then we'll go. All right, so I'm going to start off here with a base shade. So I've already prepped up my eyes with this NARS smudge proof eyeshadow base. I got this in my subscription box from Sephora Play. I absolutely adore this. It goes on and keeps my shadows on great. So in the Sephora VIB sale that's coming up, I am going to stock up on this more. This stuff is just magical. It really does a nice job. So I always start with kind of a base shade to kind of set everything down. So I like this flat white is what they call it. And I'm just going to start here and just kind of put it all over my eye. This is my crown brush, blender brush that I got in this set of brushes from Fabfitfun in my fall box. Those are just really nice brushes. So I just kind of dust it all over my eye. I find that the shadows blend better when I just have like a nice base shade on there. So now I am going to go in with this Miracos blending brush, and I'm going to do, like I said, a more orangey look for fall, and I'm going to go into the apropos color called Gingerbread. So you see it comes up on there, very good, and I'm just going to put this in my crease and on my lower lid here. Now it's not as highly pigmented as, let's say, a ColourPop shadow or a Anastasia Beverly Hills shadow, so you do have to build it up a bit more, and that's okay. Like, I don't mind that for when I'm going to work and stuff. I don't necessarily want a shade that's just like but if that bothers you, then this is probably not a good palette for you. But for the fact that I got this for like $7, I think that that's really not a bad thing. It's not that powdery, and it does blend really nicely. But as you can see, the color payoff is not crazy. Now, this is not exactly a dark color, but it's a good color to kind of lay in there. So then I'm going to go in with the same brush, or actually, I like to use this brush here, which is my Ulta crease brush. And I'm going to go in with, I think I'm going to go in with pumpkin spice. Again, we are keeping with the fall Halloween theme. As you can see, this color really picks up nicely, and I'm going to just lay this into my crease. Now, I'll tell you, there is some inconsistency in this palette. Some of these shades go on beautifully, and others take a little bit more work to really layer in there and do what you want them to do. So I find the orangey shades in this palette are much easier to work with than the cool tone shades. I don't know why, but they just don't quite get the cool tone shades as well. So I'm going to go back in with this brush that I used with the gingerbread. I'm not going to add any more, and I'm just going to kind of blend up here a little bit. They do blend out really nicely. As you can see, they're really blending beautifully. They're not patchy. So I do like that about them. All right, so next color here, I am going to go into Toffee Nut, and I'm going to layer that kind of outer and inner crease a little bit more. And I'm going to start using this brush. This is the Sephora brush. I did a video about this. I'll try to link it somewhere in the information. But I really love this brush for kind of like getting more into the crease. So yes, so we're going to go into Toffee Nut. This is a little bit more a brownie orange. And again, this color picks up really nicely. And so I'm just going to pack it into here. As you can see, it goes on pretty nicely. This palette doesn't have a lot of fallout, which is awesome. So when I'm in a hurry and I don't want to have to do my face makeup before I go to work, or before or after, sorry, I put on my eye makeup, then this works really good. And I'm going to go ahead and, while I have this brush, I'm going to start smoking out the bottom with this color a little bit here. As you can see. So then I am going to go back with this brush, the Miracos brush that I had used originally, and I'm just going to make sure that everything blends really nicely. As you can see, it does. Everything just kind of blends together really pretty. and nice. All right, so now I am going to get into a darker color, and I am going to do the color Americano here. So if you haven't figured out by now, everything in this palette has kind of a coffee theme, or a theme of something to do with coffee or coffee house or something like that. So Americano, I'm gonna just kind of tap into my corner right here. And there is a little bit of fallout, so this one is a little bit harder to work with. It does fall out a little bit more. I'm just gonna wipe that off, but it comes off pretty easily. All right, so let me find my thing here, just tapping a little bit more in here. This is after I tell you guys there's no fallout, and it lies and gives me some fallout. We can't all be perfect, right? So just to kind of deepen that crease a little bit more. All right, so now we're going to lay down some shimmers. And this is where I think this palette is really nice. The shimmers are really, really actually quite nice in this palette. Now, I will show you guys, some of the shimmers go on really well with a brush that's wet. Some of them go on really well with a silicone brush applicator, which I'm going to show you. And then I'm going to show you really the best way to apply these is the finger. But this cinnamon cream, this beautiful orangey color, goes on really nicely with an applicator. If you can see, I mean, it just picks up really nicely. And I'm just going to kind of apply this all over my eye here. And I mean, you can see it's just like stunning. This color is just really beautiful and just really pops. I mean, look at that. That is just... All right, and then I really, really, really like the strawberries and cream and the vanilla latte. I'm going to do the vanilla latte today to kind of give myself a little bit more of a yellowy undertone. And I'm just going to lay it in the inner corner. As you can see, kind of gradiate it. It's really pretty. Now this color does lay a little bit better with a finger. So I'm going to go in with my pinky finger here. And just really pop it. So you can see there. And then I'm going to pop it on this side as well. And then I'm going to go back in with my finger in the cinnamon cream and just kind of pop and blend. But you can see these colors go on really beautiful. They do a really nice warm shimmer. So that is there. And then I'm going to go in and just do a little bit of my inner corner with this color strawberry and cream right here. Right there. And right there. And then I'm just going to kind of go up into the crease here. And then the other thing I'm going to do here is take this other Miracos brush here, and I'm going to just dip a little bit into this French Roast, which is this pretty shimmer here, this brown shimmer right there. And I'm just kind of pop and line the underside here. So a little thing, if you guys don't do brows, I don't really do my brows very often. These types of brushes actually work really good for underliner. And then you can kind of smoke out with, you know, basically a regular brush a little bit more. So I'm going to go back in with this pretty kind of light or orange called Amaretto. And I'm just going to kind of touch towards the middle and kind of finish smoking out this area a little bit, just to give myself a little bit more pizzazz here. So that's that. I'm going to pause. I'm going to finish up here. Actually, one more thing before I go. I'm going to use this brush here, which is supposed to be the blender brush. I'm just going to tap up in my inner corner with the color Chai. For a highlighting shade, it's really pretty. I don't find this one is as usable, so I do like it in just kind of up under my brow bone here, just to give it a little extra definition. All right, I'm going to pause, put my mascara on, come back and give you guys my thoughts. All right, so final thoughts. First, I'm going to give you guys my final thoughts on these brushes. These are not bad for cheap brushes from Amazon. I like the way they feel. They're easy to use. I will have to say this combo brushes is probably not the most useful for me. This brush is just, I don't find is very useful for applying shadows. It's a little bit too thick and big. I wish it was just maybe half this size, and there'd be a really great crease brush. I don't use concealer brushes, so, and it's just a little bit big to pack on eyeshadow. But if you like a concealer brush, I did use this. As you can see, I tried it for concealer. It was not bad. I'm not a concealer brush fan. For a blending brush, this was really nice. It did a really good job. I do like this. And then for this, for a spoolie, because I use it to separate out my lashes, it does a really nice job. It's soft, but it's big. It still does what it needs. And this is a really nice little liner brush that you can use there or there. So yes, this brand is not bad. I would pick a different combo, but go try some Amazon brushes. I'll put the link below for those interested in that. Now, as for this, my thoughts on this. I've been using this for a couple weeks. I actually really like this palette. I think it's a decent price for what you get. I love the fact that I only got it for like $7. The staying power on these shadows are amazing. I can put this shadow on in the morning, work a 12-hour day, and come home and it is still popping. And so that is one of the things I really love about this. They are very easy to apply. They're not consistent, and that is probably my biggest complaint with this palette. So the orangey shades and the red and warm tone shades are beautiful. They're rich. They have lots of pigment. But when you start getting into the cooler tones like Vanilla Bean, like it swatches beautifully. I'll show you. Swatches beautifully, right? Look at that. Really pretty. But on the eye, it was a little lackluster. Same with like the caramel or this gold rose. Same thing. Beautiful, but kind of a little lackluster when I actually put it on the eye. I don't know why. I find this range here, the Java Chocolate, Expresso, and Double Chip, just a little bit difficult to work with, as well as this Raspberry Mocha Kiss. It's not very pigmented. If you want to do a brown look, these do really nicely, but there are a few shades that are just a little difficult or hard to work with or don't pop as much in the shimmer shades, which is a shame because look how pretty they are. The other shade that is a little lackluster or hard to work with is this Chai. It's such a pretty color and should be a perfect inner highlight cord or a brow bone highlighter, but you can see it just doesn't, it applies about as well as it swatches. It's just a little lackluster. The mattes are nice. They don't fall out. They blend beautifully. Some of them are more pigmented than others. You do have to build them up. So that is something to be aware of. Would I recommend this palette? Absolutely. I actually really, really like this palette. I've been playing with it a lot. I have the Disney Princess palette from ColourPop, which is beautiful, and I have been hands down reaching for this one a little bit more, just because I find that it has a little bit more versatility, and the wear power is actually really, really good. Like, I am super impressed at how well these wear. So I do suggest that if you see this in a sale, pick it up. It's definitely worth it. The other interesting thing is that it is apparently made with different coffee extracts. So it's supposed to be good for your eyes. My eyes have not been overly sensitive to it. It doesn't leave a lot of stain on my eye. So yeah, I like it. So anyway, tell me what you guys think. Has anyone else used this palette? I have no affiliation with Beautycrop. I went and looked to see if they had other palettes. They had a few other ones that I was interested. I may buy just to try out because I did like the quality of this palette. Has anyone else tried any other Beautycrop palettes, and what did you think? Please subscribe. Please leave me comments. hit the like button and the warning bell and all that good stuff. And as always, thank you guys for watching.